For years, big tech has hidden behind the language of neutrality. We're just platforms. Oh, we're just connecting people. We're not responsible for what happens on our platforms. That's user-generated content. But that lie is getting harder to sell. In New Mexico, a jury found Meta liable for misleading parents, harming children's mental health and safety, concealing information about child sexual exploitation. The penalty, $375 million. In LA, a separate case, a jury found Meta and YouTube liable in harm to kids over addictive design, failure to warn about that, and awarded millions of dollars. Of course, Meta and Google are both appealing these decisions. But this matters. Not because these verdicts solve the problems. They actually don't solve anything immediately. Not because one courtroom victory suddenly redeems the internet and all this addictive design. It doesn't. But this is one of the first times in culture that the legal system and the facts are all starting to line up around something parents already have known for years in their bones. See, these companies built systems that are not just risky, they're structurally disordered. They profit from weakness and exploitation of the attention, brain psychology within us. And children are the ones paying the price. One of my favorite moments is the lawyers use M&Ms in an analogy to the court, and it's actually a really good analogy. See, the point was simple. These companies are so massive that you take only a tiny little amount out, they barely feel it. See, this is basically just one M&M, just a few $1 million. But this, just like the lawyer is saying, is what we're actually dealing with. This is the real scale of the consequences or the dollars we're dealing with. So this is the machine. This is the money. This is the size of what we're up against. And what did they just get hit with? One M&M. Does it matter? Yes. It's not nothing, but it's nowhere near enough. And yet, this is the kind of thing that actually changes behavior. Pain is what changes behavior. Real legal exposure is what changes behavior. Precedent changes behavior. So the possibility of thousands of more lawsuits, that changes behavior. The threat of court-ordered product changes behavior. That's why this matters. See, once the law starts treating these things instead of just random accidents that occurred and starts treating them as product design choices, which they are, the ground shifts underneath the whole industry. Reuters said that these rulings matter because they test the boundaries of liability. Technically, Section 230, Communications Decency Act, actually has protected these companies for so long from liability because they're dealing with third-party content. And yes, Meta and Google, of course, they're appealing it. They might win. They might beat out this specific case. But even if they went on appeal, the momentum has shifted. A few years ago, I wrote this article. It went semi-viral called Smartphones and the New Cigarettes. And if you read that article, it unpacks, hey, at first things are magic, and then people start realizing that there's harms, and then there's actual government legislative reform. And people start using it less, and there's actually transformation with the industry. And that's what's occurring right at this particular moment, and it just happens to be around social media. There's other exploitations in smartphones, there's other exploitations in AI, but social media is in the hot zone right now, and regulation is coming. And I think what's cool is the real question is whether this product was built in a way that honors human dignity or if it feeds human fragility. The jury understood that question. We ask questions like, hey, does this strengthen relationship or destroy them? Does this build attention and focus or distract it? Is it monetization of a basic human commodity, or does it actually create value for people? And so my prediction is that this is the beginning, not the end. New Mexico is now looking at a second phase that could look at specific changes to Meta's products. That's crazy, including recommendations, notifications, age verification, other safeguards right now. Meta's looking at thousands of related suits beyond just this case. So yes, today, one M&M, but keep taking them away. One at a time. Lawsuits, regulation, design changes, and eventually even the giants actually change their behavior. And that is why we need the healthy tech way. Not just a slogan, but an actual alternative vision for consumer technology that actually serves human flourishing instead of monetizing human weakness. It's begun. I'm excited about this. We have a long way to go, but let's do this thing.